Sir, I will do, sir.
Who is that?
Madhumita, sir.
Madhumita. Okay. So Madhumita, before, okay, get ready, Madhumita, so you can tell me how to do it. Meanwhile, I'm glad one volunteer. I was hoping for some new names to volunteer, but we don't have time to continuously keep asking for volunteers. Meanwhile, let me give you. So Madhumita, get ready. I'm going to give you a chance shortly.
Okay, sir.
Time is 6:40 as well. Oh my God. CC. Yes, somebody else is volunteering. Hello.
Sir, shall I stop my screen, sir?
Madhumita, you want to share the screen, is it?
Yes, sir. So what? Shall I stop here?
Um, no, hold on 1 second. 1 second.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to further explain this comp function, right? So all of you understand it even better, right? So I basically did it in multiple. Did I write all the steps also to be followed in the in your step one? Use Q sort.
Yes, sir.
Right? So Q sort int count. This is how, I mean, I think some variation of this was done by Sujita, right? So I'm just
Yes,
making
sir.
it a little bit more elaborate. The Q sort, when you
Okay,
give to
sir.
Q sort requires four 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 variables to be given, right? Four arguments to be given. One is the input, which is basically the string, the character string that needs to be sorted, which is the INP, and count is what is the size of that size of the string that needs to be sorted, and size. This size is size of each element in that in the string, right? So size of characters 1 byte. So this is how I calculate size of byte. So these three things are very simple, right? These are all things you know. If you look at the fourth argument, that's where this whole thing is very confusing. If you're seeing it for the very first time, you have to give a function pointer. The concept of function pointer is obvious to all of you now. Uh, we've always covered many things where pointers were pointing at integers, floats, or character, or even a character string, right? That is what we've used pointers to point at, correct? But in this case, the COMP function, if you look at it, COMP function itself is a function. So for the first time, you're seeing this code where you are passing a function, defined, just like you define integers and define integer variables and integer float variables and integer or character variables or character point or character string variables, right? Like that, you can also look at comp func as an object, which is a function object. So that function object is what we are passing. This is probably the very first time you're seeing something like this. Qsort expects a pointer as a first argument. It requires an integer as a second argument and another integer as third argument. As a fourth argument, it expects this. What is this? This is a very strange thing. It is a pointer to a function which returns integer. It's a pointer to a function which returns an integer, and it takes two two things as parameters. So this is the way. This is very. You must understand this. I'm not passing an integer variable. I'm not passing a integer. I'm passing a function name itself as the fourth argument. So please understand 29 properly, right? And then people might be still confused. What is inside this? What is this void star? You always say const character star or const integer star or whatever, right? Here, if you look at it, your the comp function is defined by parameters which are void pointers. So what is a void pointer also you must understand. A void pointer cannot be used as a void pointer. It has to be cast. So we cast a to a be a character pointer because we're not going to change anything in the thing. So we are obviously this function is only supposed to be comparing things, not changing the action. The sorting is the Q sort, right? But the function that is passed, the comparative function, does not need to do any modification. It only needs to do the evaluation. So AC is nothing but, so if you want to get the character that is there, that is pointed to by A, so we store AC and we look at this. So if you want, you can remove this printf and see what happens. And so you'll see if, when you see here, it's comparing A, B, C, D, A, C, B, C, and then it's doing it, right? It is saying error because I'm printing many things. So if you look at DCBA, you see what happens. Compares first DC, then it's comparing BA, then it's comparing CA, CB, and that's how I get ABCD. So this putting a printf statement inside the function will give you an idea how this comp function is, what exactly is the comp function comparing and going. Now, if you look at this ABCD big thing here, see this, so many comparisons are happening. So if I remove the print, then it should still pass. So I encourage you to do something like this, right? Look at the comparisons that are happening, understand what is happening inside the comp function. So much for the description of that problem of the Q sort. What I want to show uh, this thing. I've created another function, I've written a code. I've written another function, which is what I want you to do. You, having known how Q sort works, I want you to, having seen how Q sort works, I want you to define something. So I've defined. So what happens now? I've now defined a modified version of this program, which is what I'm going to show you now. And I give you, if I give a short, for example, what happens. So you look at it takes my name, Does I've actually printed all the what is happening in that CMP. So it's comparing A as A and S because of two things. Then compares O and K. So Q sort, it's applying the quick sort algorithm. You don't have to understand that, but you get an idea. It is doing something. After sorting the letters, then I get A, S. So let me give my full name and say Ashok. It'll be interesting. See, it finds all my A's. So all my A's together, B, H. So this is something you should also transfer all the code that is there in Cloud Coder, and you put it in your own local compiler, and you give your name. Somebody want to see how their name looks like? Give me somebody volunteer to give your name, please. I'm not asking for code. Somebody tell me their names. Hello, somebody let me get a name of a person who's not talking at all in these sessions. Professor, choose somebody. Is my screen visible or not?
No, sir.
Oh my God, then you guys have not told me. Okay, then what am I showing? Okay, so desktop application. What is it? Application. Okay, application. What have I been explaining so long that all of you been silent? Hello. So this is what I've been telling you, right? This Q sort, you understood what I'm doing? Function compare, all this understood? And you see my integer comp function, what is inside this, right? Okay. So now what am I saying? Can you this is what I was showing. I have now compiled a different version of the same program, and you should bring all this code that is here into your local compiler and compile it for yourself. When you compile something like this, and if you run it, right, like a dot out, and I'm giving my name, right? Read what I see. What happens? It's sorting out all my letters in my name and giving you the list. So I want somebody to volunteer and give me your name so that I can
Sir.
sort and go ahead.
Priyadarshini, sir.
What's his name?
Priyadarshini, sir.
Yeah, Priya Darshini. Okay, and your last name?
G, sir.
G. So there, Priyadarshini. That's how your name has been sorted. Got it? You have 2 A's, 3 I's. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So that's what the program does. Now, what I have done now is, my program is now modified to do something interesting. If I say a dot out and I give, oops, it says give nothing, it's a problem. Good. That's kind of some intelligence also I want you to write in your modified program. See, I'm giving you an assignment to change this function, this program that is here, right? Bring it into your local compiler, and then in that you make changes to this code that I've already given to have the same behavior like what I've shown here. Whenever I give a string, any string I give, it sorts and tells me gives me the sorted. You don't have to print all this. You just have to print this one, right? So that's one thing. That's obvious. That's what you've done. So then if I say I don't give any argument, then it says it gives no argument to sort. The current function, current code that is done here does not do that. So you have to build some intelligence to do this. This is the first action item. Second action item is, if I do a sort, and I say Ashok and Priya Darshini, and let me give you her name first. So I say Priya Darshini and Ashok, and I say Nandakumar, and I say Sachin, and what happens? So you see this, it also takes independent strings like this and gives me the sorted. So obviously I'm alphabetically sorted, Nandakumar, Priyadarshini and Sachin. You got it? So if I give just one string, it sorts out one string and gives me the sorted letters. But the moment I give 1, 2, 3, 4 strings, it sorts out the strings as well. 4, 1, 3, and 2. So that's the challenge for you. I look for some solutions or somebody who can demonstrate. This is not tested in Cloud Coder. I will ask you to come up with your own program, and your program should do the same thing like what my program does. Is everything? What is the assignment for tomorrow? So in a sense, you have to use Q sort to sort, just like this program can sort letters in a string. And when multiple strings are given through the main function, you must know how to do int argc argv manipulation, right? I hope is that covered in the syllabus already or not yet? Faculty members, have you covered command line arguments? Not yet. And even if your faculty members have not covered it in the class, you can do your own reading. Remember, many of you must find out your own. Not everything that is taught comes when you get into a professional environment like KGISL or any other company. They expect you to learn something on your own. So learn how to handle command line arguments. Typically, you should see int arg C, character arg V. I think this is how you define things. Yeah, that's correct. So you, by default, main itself can handle two parameters. So read up on this, and then come to me and show me your program, which does exactly the same thing like what I do. Purujida, is all of you understood the problem? Whether you do it or not is secondary, but do you understand what I'm asking you to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. We have 8 minutes. Okay, 8 minutes. You can do it, Madhumita. You're ready?
Yes, sir.
So we'll still try and finish up by 7 p.m. Shouldn't take too long because Madhumita is very confident. Madhumita, good. So this is the string allocation problem. Remember, right? You have to use dynamic memory for managing dynamic memory. You need pointers, correct? So there are 8 such problems. If you want to understand how to use pointers and pointers in combination with malloc, this is the problem that you need to know. Whoops, substring now. Substring, what is substring? Oh, I'm giving so many ideas now. Wow. There is a 2-line, there is actually, seems like there is a 2-line answer. I didn't even realize this. I hope somebody else will show me this when I ask you for this. So if I do some offset calculation, if it is all correct, if it is not wrong, then I do an NA. Otherwise, I'm using string duplicate, giving some first argument and then giving the second argument. I'm able to just 3 lines. I'm able to solve this problem. Interesting. I didn't even know that you could do this. Okay. So Madhumita, you're all ready? So I just keep this
Yes, sir.
aside. I'll just keep this aside for the time being. You want the same thing. Let's save some time. So we return NA for the time being. Okay, let's go. Okay. All right, Madhumita, all yours. Let's go. Tell me the code, please.
So yes, sir. Sir, first we have to check using while loop, sir. While
Okay.
start target and start, sir.
Starter.
Yes, sir.
And what is start? Start is not defined yet here.
Sir, in the second,
So you want to change this offset to be start, is it?
yes, sir.
Okay. Then this is okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. While target and start. Okay.
Then we have to increment targets, sir. Target plus plus and start minus minus, sir.
Okay.
Then we have to declare a if start. Then we have to return not NA, sir.
Just return NA. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Then we have to declare a variable char of char star sub, sir.
Sub stands for substring, correct? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is equal to.
Malloc of size plus 1, sir.
Why are you doing size plus 1?
Sir, malloc is a library function in which we can allocate the memory space for arrays, sir.
Ah,
We are giving that size, then plus 1 it should be allocated, sir.
why plus 1? Because I'm only asking for size, no? Why do you want size plus 1? Somebody? Madhumita also can answer, others can also answer. We have to finish up quickly. Come on, 3 more minutes. Yes. Somebody help Madhumita if she's not answering. Hello? Hello, people. People, please speak up. Hello, people. Facing a...
Students, do you remember that acronym NTBS?
Professor is giving you a clue also. Come on. Madhumita, you don't know the answer? Plus 1 eduk podrom. One more byte for whom?
Null.
Ah, yes.
Characters.
Thank you. Thank you. Next. Solunga. What's next?
Yes, sir. Then char star sp is equal to sub, so substring.
You don't need const?
No, sir.
Why? Not const because we have to write into it, right?
Yes, sir.
You have to write into memory. So if you put const, and it won't allow you to write into memory. It can allow you to read. Const 14 you can't. You can only read from the location. If you keep it as const, you can read and write. Okay, next. Okay.
Yes, sir. Then a while loop, sir. Star target and size, sir.
Okay.
Then we have to
Curly braces.
yes, sir. Curly braces.
Okay.
Star sp plus plus
Okay.
is equal to star target plus plus, sir.
Okay.
Then size minus minus, sir.
Okay.
Then we have to return, sir. Return.
Return nodacha. Okay. Good.
Size greater than 0.
You're writing a ternary function.
Yes, sir.
Expression. Okay.
Greater than 0. Then question mark, sir. NA colon substring.
That's all.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. Very nice. Well done. Good job. Nice,
Thank you,
Madhumita.
sir.
Very happy that you volunteered to say this. But I'm surprised. How come we're not assigning a null character at the end, and it works? Anybody tell me why we should always end the string with a null character? No, we're not doing that specifically. Ideally, I would want to say sp equals between ponent. I would have expected. Code val say that. Anybody know? So this seems to be superfluous. Why? Not necessary. Not necessary for this compiler. Not necessary. Not necessary in சொல்ல முடியாது. போட்டா better because not all compilers will return malloc initialized to 0. the malloc function returns so many bytes and also initializes all the memory locations to be 0. But you can't necessarily always expect that to be the case. So if that is if some compilers return back with the junk in the memory, they'll allocate some memory, but then it may also contain all kinds of junk in it. In that case, if you don't have line number 17, you've not formed a properly, you're not formed a null terminated byte string properly. So just to ensure that, line 17 is always it's a good defensive mechanism. Very nice. So it's 7:01. Thank you very much for all your participation. Very nice. Thank you. And I hope somebody will take the effort to create what I've shown here. All of you need another clarification on the program that I'm asking you to write, which is another version of what you see in this QSORT, this thing. Purinjida, Purilia. Purilena, faculty members, you all understood what I'm asking?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Stop sharing. All right. That's all I had. Thank you very much. Any other comments before we leave, faculty members? I leave it to you to close the session. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Students, if you have any doubt in the QSORT function, I mean problem, you can ask now. Otherwise, we can quit the meeting. So you are supposed to sort the strings using QSORT function. That's the problem. Okay. That's the review problem for tomorrow's meeting. Okay. Thank you. Sir, thank you very much.